Hello, my name is Jenna Watts and today I'm going to provide you with an update on progress towards the review of the recommended list project. The recommended list aims to identify new varieties which have a balance of features which is sufficiently better than existing varieties. The recommended lists are produced in a collaboration between AHDB, the British Society for Plant Breeders, the Malts Association of Great Britain and UK Flower Millers. In the recent AHDB Shape the Future activity, the recommended list achieved the highest score across all current cereals and oilseeds activities. This shows how valued the work is, but also demonstrates the need to continue to develop the programme of work to ensure that it continues to meet changing grower and other stakeholder needs. For this reason, within the current cereals and oilseeds sector plan, there was a pledge to do a large-scale review of the project. This review kicked off at the end of last year, with the first phase centred around engaging with stakeholders and hearing what's important when you select a variety. We had 3 different activities in this phase, the first being a questionnaire, which was available both online and as a paper format. Over 900 people responded to this questionnaire and we're incredibly grateful for those responses. Around 75% of responses came directly from farmers. We also ran a series of online focus groups and stakeholder interviews. The second and third phases of the review focus around communication of what we've learned in phase 1 and then the development of recommendations for the future of the recommended list. In terms of delivery, there are some actions which we'll be able to achieve in the short term, whereas others may take longer, for example, if we need to introduce a new trial series. Over the next slide, I'm going to go through some of the key messages emerging from the review so far. The first of these is that the recommended list is a valuable source of information when selecting a variety. Here we have some of the questionnaire results where respondents were asked to score different sources of information for how important they were when selecting a variety, with 1 being low and 5 being high. We can see here that the recommended list has scored highly alongside personal experience. There's demand for new information. Again, we have some results from the questionnaire here where respondents were asked to indicate what top 3 things they would like to see greater time and effort spent on within the recommended list. We also had a lot of discussions in this area within the focus groups where performance under lower inputs, new attributes and regional information were highlighted. We're now in a process of looking at each of these areas to consider what's feasible within the recommended list project and potentially what can be developed in the future. Pest and disease resistance were highlighted as being very important when selecting a variety, and as you can see with the questionnaire responses here, they sit at the top of the pile. We asked about the number of varieties on the recommended list, and the general response from farmers was that the number of varieties is about right. However, in discussions at the focus groups, we received comments back about similarities and differences between varieties on the recommended list and more clarity over the process by which varieties are added and removed from the list. The recommended list printed booklet remains as the most used source of variety information, but there is demand to see changes to online offerings, particularly around the ability to personalise to requirements, and this is something that we're looking at in more detail. In terms of next steps, we will be communicating what we've learned in phase 1, so you can see us at events over the summer and hear more. As I say, we'll be considering the value, feasibility and cost of potential changes. Expect to see full results and recommendations of how the RO will develop towards the end of this year. Thank you very much.